Hello, friends. My name is Tamara Bartmus with Lightsome Living, and I'm excited to dive into what you can expect during this Scorpio season as the sun moved into Scorpio actually today. So let's dive in and see what you have in store, who this is going to impact the most, and how you can be prepared for all the ebbs and flows of Scorpio season. Something to remember about Scorpio season is that it is a time of year where the not Scoopy, what is the word I'm looking for? The taboo or like the scary things, our fears sort of can come out to play. And it's sort of natural that Halloween falls at this time of year, Day of the Dead. It is all part of the energy of the season where we sort of get to pay attention to the things that are hidden, the things that are not something that we don't really like always to see, but need to be addressed. And Scorpio season invites us to be really honest with ourselves, to see the things and get in tune with these deeper emotions that we might always not want to live in. But during the season, if we are honest with ourselves, honest with our emotions, we can make some massive headway in our own personal growth because we're actually learning how to lean in, feel them, and address and work with them. So some of the key events that you're going to want to pay attention to during Scorpio season happen to be, of course, the sun entering Scorpio today, October 22nd. We have the November 1st Scorpio new moon. This will be important because it's really close to the election day of the United States. We have the grand water trine kite that is showing up that presents a lot of powerful energy and opportunities there. And we have the Taurus full moon on November 15th at 24 degrees even. And this is a unique day because Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, will also station direct. Now, people who are fixed signs will probably be most impacted by this Scorpio season. Oh, this is Scorpio. I spelled that wrong. But it is about, your fixed signs, which would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So pay attention if that's you. This might have the most tension for you of all the signs, but there are some shifts and nuances to that we'll pay attention to. And remember, you have all the signs of the zodiac. You're not just your sun sign. So things will show up in unique ways to help you grow and transform. And that when I look at the zodiac, I'm looking for what is being presented for my learning, for my growth, for my evolution. And that is part of the joy and opportunity of utilizing astrology for our own personal growth. If you are interested in additional tools for your own personal growth and learning of the zodiac, I would encourage you to download my free essential oil cheat sheet. Now, just gives additional insight into what oils are impactful for different signs on different layers of growth: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So you can see that in the link below. Some other important significant events that I would want to highlight would be on November 2nd, there is Mercury will be entering Sagittarius. Now, this begins almost the cycle, this last final Mercury retrograde that will be in Sagittarius at the end of this year. So there will be the pre-shadow on November 7th. It will begin the pre-shadow process, and that will be something I want to explore more in depth with you. When we get to closer to that date, I will be putting out a video for you to explore that. On November 4th, we have Mars entering Leo, and Mars is one of the rulers of rulers of Scorpio, as is Pluto, and they both enter new signs this Scorpio season, which shifts the energy from the Mars being in Cancer and Pluto being in Capricorn to, again, this Aquarius Leo axis. So that will be very interesting to explore as well. And then Venus enters Capricorn. This is also important to note because the opposing sign of Scorpio is Taurus. The ruler of Taurus is Venus. So we want to track these and pay attention to these nuances as we go through the season. And I can talk more about these as we go through our full moon and new moon videos. So pay attention or subscribe to this channel and like this video so you get notifications of future videos that I will be dropping later. Some other things that I would highly encourage you to pay attention to or utilize in your own own education and learning of astrology is a zodiac workbook and journal that I have available for the Scorpio season on Amazon. This is something that you can purchase and work through. Currently, it's only available for print. I might in the future make it available as a digital download, but for right now, it is just print. And it is a great tool to help you understand not just astrology in general, but how that applies to you. Astrology is fun, but it's most powerful when we learn how to utilize it as a personal growth tool. And that is how I have designed and created this workbook to help you learn how the energy shows up in your own personal birth chart and how you can be more aware and in that self-awareness, be able to experience the transformation. An essential oil that I really recommend for this whole Scorpio season is something called Coastal Escape. It is the oil of authenticity. It really helps us get to a clear place of what is us and what isn't us. And sometimes we grow up in dynamics and environment that we think we take on masks or facades of things that aren't truly who we are. And we learn through the Scorpio season how to shed those old facades and really step up and be ourselves. And just like the waves of the ocean, I envision this coastal escape supporting us in like the tides and the waves, bringing in the new and letting go of the old, just like the tide and the waves do. When we look at the water signs of the zodiac, you have Cancer, you have Scorpio, and you have Pisces. And each one of those signs sort of goes in deeper symbolism of the water application or the emotional impact and application of that. You have Cancer, which I would sort of think of like a lake or a river that leads to the ocean. You have the ocean and its waves itself, and then you have the depths of the ocean. And in those three things, you have Cancer, and then you have Scorpio, and then you have Pisces, like the depths of the ocean. So with Scorpio season, it felt just appropriate for us to utilize something that reminds us of the seaside, that really leans into that learning of what do we need to shed, what do we need to let go of, what do we need to see with complete self-honesty, how to let go of those things and sort of in the shedding of them be reborn and be able to move forward with a whole new like sense of self and an authentic presence in that. The other things I want to point out when it comes to Scorpio season, as the sun moves through this sign, it does bring more energy and vitality to these parts of the body. Light can come into these parts of the body, meaning a restorative energy, but also an exposing energy, revealing energy. So if you have wounds or emotional traumas in these areas of the body, it is maybe going to be stirred up and pay attention to that for the opportunity for healing, releasing, and shifting in that. It's part of the place of the body that this impacts is the excretory parts of the body, the bladder, the cervix, the colon, the prostate, the rectum, the anus, the coccyx, the reproductive organs of the body. All of this is influenced in astrology through this Scorpio sign, and we might need to have that final release. It's sort of interesting to consider that it is this part of the body where we release in the final, detox process or the final movements of the waste we no longer need. But it also is the place that we have a birth of new life come through, or where life is produced and created. So some interesting symbolism to consider there, but pay attention to and do exercises or self-awareness work around this area of body. If you have energy that needs to be released and let go of, just be more aware that there is important attention to that part of the body. Again, if you want this cheat sheet, you can download it through the link below. I find it very helpful and informative. As we go into the rest of Scorpio season, I will have videos on the new moon and the full moon, of course. Retrograde season is, Mercury retrograde is coming just around the corner, and other wonderful things to consider as you learn to understand your own personal birth chart and the transits in the sky and what that means for you. So I hope you have a wonderful Scorpio season. For me, it's a bittersweet one. I have a lot of Scorpio energy as well in my birth chart that indicates, hey, this could be really great. This could be really hard. But either way, it's a part of the transformation and growth process. And I know that even by leaning in and doing the hard work, being brutally honest with ourselves and calling ourselves out on the things that we need to release and shed and let go of, we can actually become so much more happy, healthy, and stronger on the other side of that, because Scorpio has an amazing emotional resilience and a capacity to hold space for very hard and heavy things. So as you go through the season, be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, be also kind and compassionate to other people. There's a lot of things going on in this world that we just don't see. There's so many things happening under the surface that we can never truly fully understand. So be kind, compassionate to yourself and to others as we navigate this. There's so many things shifting in the world, but also within our own world. So many retrograde planets right now is this invitation to actually go within and do the internal shifting and transformation so that you can be able to go outside of yourself and create an impact on the world around you and the relationships and the people around you. So thanks for joining. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to be notified of future astrology videos and other things that I'm excited to share. Thanks, guys. Have a great Scorpio season.